Hey everybody, Mikeycat Outdoors here. So what are we doing today? It's a cold end of November, early evening time. So hopefully the gas will flow with this, or it's going to be an interesting video. So today I've got two things I want to show you. I've got a MSR canister stove upgrade little kit here that helps you take your canister away from the main part of your stove. It gives you a little wider base. And then the other thing is this Optimus Clip-On Windshield that you can put around like the base of an actual canister. So let's check it out. Alright, so I've got a little Snow Peak Gigapower fuel thing here and a MSR Pocket Rocket 2 stove, regular configuration here. So normally when you run a canister stove like this, they don't recommend that you put an actual heat shield or windscreen around the stove, because all that heat will come and heat up this canister of isobutane and boom, have a higher risk of explosion. So this Optimus Clip-On Windshield, it's got the advantage that it kind of just fits onto that canister there, and it doesn't give you full 100% protection from the wind, but it's basically like 180 degrees or half circle windscreen. So you can see it's open. It goes around half circle basically, and it's got a little bit of springiness in it. So you can just slip this thing come on, don't make me look like an idiot. So you can actually fit it on over the canister lip there, and basically, just keep your valve and everything exposed. But wherever the prevailing winds are coming from, you could put that on and, give yourself a little bit of wind protection for the flame, which should give you a little bit quicker burn time. This is small enough that, depending on your cook system, you might be able to just house this over the width of your cook pot. Because, cook pot's small right there. Just a little Imusa pot, 10 centimeter one. And like I said, it'll just fit right on there, like normal, but you've got some of that wind protection now. And whenever you're done, you take all this stuff, put it away. Like I said, you could just fit your pot inside that diameter, but you might need a bigger bag if you're going to carry this along with your cook kit. But it's not a bad option to have. Let's see if the stuff will flow today. Yay! There we go. We've got Gigapower. So obviously this thing's going to work great for small pots like that, but if you got like a larger frying pan, that's going to be too big to put on that. So there are limits on what you can use this with. But like I say, if you got a bunch of wind blowing in or something, you aren't really going to have as much of an effect with that, because it's going to take all that heat and put it right into the cup, which, whew, not my brightest idea, but and it's just as simple as that. So the other thing I wanted to show you guys today was this MSR canister stove upgrade. So I've seen a few YouTubers have this out there already. Thought about it for a little bit, decided, yeah, there could be some times that it could make sense to have one of these. So in the case of a really wide pot, big boiling pot of water, wider frying pan, whatever, usually you've got some sort of a base extension that you can clip onto one of these canisters, and it gives you a little better footing. But if you've got a situation where you want a wider base, or it's winter time, you want to invert your canister to get better flow in the cold, you can't always do that when you've got a regular setup. So if you got your jet boil or whatever, you know, traditional setup, it's not always going to work that great, you know, with just a regular setup. So what this allows you to do is it offloads your lindle valve way over here, so you can just screw that on just like normal. Oh, that's nice. There we go. And then you've got another lindle valve right here on the top of this that you can take any regular canister stove you've got. Got a Pocket Rocket Deluxe here that I can try out. Get this thing set up. And so if you've got one that's got a little wider, you know, pot support to it too, that would be beneficial. But with this, you can take whichever one you got, screw it on there. Hopefully this one's not too wide. We'll see. This one's got a little extra material on it, but I guess that Pocket Rocket 2 over there has that too. So far, seems to be fitting on alright. I mean, there is a lip on this as I'm screwing it on, so there is only a certain amount of distance. Obviously, you're going to be able to screw this down, but I'll open this valve up, get all the fuel, go through the tube over to the stove, and then this one does have an igniter built into it, so hopefully there we go. So like I say, if you've got something wider, like a really wide cook pot with a bunch of water, like you're making spaghetti for you and your friends, or you've got a wider cast iron cook pot for some odd reason, and you're using an ultralight stove, I ain't gonna judge you, but you know, if you got some weird setup going on with something wider, you can do that. And like I say, it's got the wider base here. You can buy wide bases. Whew, that's nice and hot. You can buy wide bases in actual plate stands for your MSR stoves. So if you have a stove like the MSR Whisper Light, which is a liquid gas stove, you've already got a wide footprint on something like that. On something like these Pocket Rockets, you're usually just using the canister as the base. Now, if you want to have a wider base, they do make plastic and metal bases that'll fit on the bottoms of these canisters, and that's fine and dandy for your regular cook pots. But if you've got something that's up high, basically what it's going to do is it's going to change your center of gravity, and you're going to have a little more proneness to tip with that kind of setup. With this, with the wide base, this is about the same footprint as a Whisper Light, so you can actually get one of those little metal plates that fit on the feet and make a big wide plate. So if you're trying to fit it on the snow or something, you can do that without it tipping over. So this gives you that option with your canister stove. It also gets that heat away. So let's say you've got a big foil or titanium foil type heat deflector, you know, or you know, windscreen. Basically, you can put that around this base as much as possible, and you're not going to have to worry about your gas canister heating up and going boom on you. So that gives you some additional options there too. I do remember there was a guy, I think he used to live in Oklahoma, and now I think he lives in California, Kenneth Cram. He did videos, real old dude, really mellow. He had different videos out there. He would do stuff, but he made basically like cardboard with aluminum foil taped on both sides. It was like a roll-up oven and then you take little skewers and make like the grid inside, and you do the sterno underneath for his heat source, and have a little lid on top, and you'd use it as like a baking oven. So if you had something like that and you had something like this, you could potentially, you know, get a situation where you could actually kind of bake with it. You definitely want to make sure that you've got a stove that doesn't have any plastic in it or any parts that are going to melt if you were going to try to do that. But yeah, I would say just stick with the basics. You know, if you've got a big frying pan or you got a big pot of water or something that's a little heavy, top heavy, whatever, this will give you a little better option for cooking with it. But you know, everyone's got their own opinions, their own needs, differences, so it's something you can try out if you want. You can pick these up at most of the outfitters online. REI's got them, probably get them through Amazon, Backcountry, Camp Saver, places like that. So I don't remember off the top of my head how much it was. Might have been in a $40 to $50 range if I remember right. I'll try to post that info up on a screen. But yeah, it's another option for your cook kit. So if you like what you've seen with either of these two products, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If you absolutely hate it, can't stand my guts, give me 2 thumbs down and a thumbs up. And I'll go back to my old joke, if you're in Saudi Arabia, now that thumbs up means something else. So just be polite. But hopefully you enjoyed this. I just do this all as fun for a hobby, and just try to get stuff out there for people to just see what's available and expand their horizons a little bit. So hopefully you liked it. I'll catch you again in the outdoors. As always, thanks for watching.